Hello there, everyone. Sorry, I have remembered how to work OBS finally. Sorry about the little delay there. Welcome to the Season 5 Driver Placements live stream. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for your patience as well. I know it's kind of getting late here in Australia where I am, and some of you will be. This is kind of the only time, really, where we have our three main time zones, I guess. So Europe and Americas and Australia or the Pacific, where it's a decent hour and not the middle of the night for one of those. So good morning to our American friends just waking up. It's 6:30 in the morning on the West Coast and 9:30 in the morning on the East Coast, and then it's early afternoon in Europe. Hope everyone's well. Hope everyone's surviving COVID, and we're all in this together. So brings me great joy to bring you the drivers lineups tonight. Um, and yeah, I just want to thank everyone for signing up for another season. Hopefully, it's going to be a good one. So we had a pretty just before we get started. I'll just run through a few things. So obviously, this season we had a different driver evaluation, a more thorough one, and I guess when it comes down to it, I think it's worked really well, and hopefully when you see the placements and stuff, you'll agree with that. But yeah, it did mean a third of the drivers that signed up or filled out the sign up form didn't complete it, and those people weren't placed. So if you didn't do the evaluation, you won't find yourself placed in any league until you do that. So if you're watching and you're thinking, oh, I didn't do my evaluation, but I still want to race, then there's still time. We can fit you in, but you just need to go and do that first. So look, I'm not gonna baffle on too much. The only other thing I want to say is that some people will probably be a bit disappointed. We couldn't fit everyone in for some leagues, and for that I apologise. And yeah, it's makes me really sad when someone's put in the effort to sign up and do the evaluation and maybe doesn't get the seat they want, or ends up being a reserve driver. But everyone that's done the evaluation is at least a reserve driver. So please don't be too disheartened if you don't get a full-time seat in the league that you wanted to. Because as you know, if you've raced a race back before, there's plenty of opportunities for reserve drivers throughout the season, and yeah, full-time seats open up as well pretty quickly usually. So yeah, I think it's just about being available to race and still being keen and not getting too disheartened by that. We do want you in the league, of course. We want everyone. But yeah, the placements were based on the evaluation, the results from last season, and attendance from last season were the three big things. So we've really focused on putting drivers in leagues that we think are gonna show up and have the grid as full as possible. So yeah, that's how we did the placements. But look, without further ado, I will whiz through these. I'm probably not going to go through every name on for every tier this time because it might take a while. So what I might do is I'll spend maybe like 10 to 15 seconds on each. So we'll go to Tuesday first. Sorry, I still remembering how to use OBS. So we'll have our Tuesday F1 leagues first. And these are our regional leagues. Of course, big change this season is that all leagues are regional. And we do have some new ones as well on Wednesday, Friday and Saturday, but they will be released on the Discord server. So this stream's just for the Tuesday and Sunday leagues, which is the majority of our leagues, to be honest. But okay, here we go. So first up, our American friends, good morning. This is Xbox Americas. On a Tuesday night, I'm remembering details as I'm doing this, and some details you won't see on the driver placement graphics. So stuff like who the lobby host is and what time it is and stuff like that. So still a few tiers to work that out for. So I decided not to put it on there for everyone, but they will be worked out before the first race on Tuesday. So there we go. And yeah, plenty of drivers there. We've got a full grid with 5 reserves. So good luck to those guys. Hopefully you got the seat you wanted. Yeah, and we'll move on. And we're starting off with our American friends. So this is PlayStation Americas on a Tuesday night. Another full grid with 4 reserves. So great for those guys. Yeah, I think we've got some new drivers as well. So yeah, all the best to those guys. I think Passassin's going for another championship there. So he'll be the man to beat. Okay, we're going to whiz through these, I think. So we move on to the Euro series, and first up we've got Xbox Euro. Now, this one probably needs some work, if I'm honest. So we have about 10 full-time drivers there, I think, and another 5 reserves. So I guess the minimum when I looked at the sign-ups, I want 15 at least to get it going. So look, we're going to start this one and we're going to recruit through the season and try and fill those vacant seats. But the good news is for those 5 reserves, they can race whenever they want in any of those vacant seats, and they can take one as well if they change their mind on being a reserve. They can pick up one of those seats, and that might be a theme throughout this, where there are vacant seats and reserves. If you decide that you know what, if there's a full-time seat, I'm going to take it instead of being reserved. So that'd be really good to see. We'll organise a channel on the Discord where we can have things like that. So all right, moving on to our Euro series. So we'll start with. Sorry, we're already on Euro series, so we'll go to PC. So this is PC Euro Tier 2. Similar thing, a few vacant seats there, 4 I think, so 3 reserves, so nearly a full grid with reserves, and hopefully we can fill those last few seats as well. But right now the seats for the reserves to race. We'll go to Tier 1, so PC Euro Tier 1, similar thing, 4 vacant seats, 4 reserves. So if you are one of those reserves and want a full-time seat, stick your hand up and we'll put you in. Otherwise, we will fill the seats as we go through the season. Okay, now moving to PlayStation Euro Series. And we have 2 tiers for PS Euro. So PS Euro Tier 2. Full tier for these guys. And 5 reserves as well. So we had 3 tiers last season. I think tier 2 and 3 merged in the end. So we've only gone with 2 this time, with the most committed drivers we think we have there. And I think Rogue Flash won the tier 3 championship, and by looking at that list, I think Tommy will be a contender as well. So plenty of good drivers there. Wish those guys all the best. And moving on to Euro Tier 1. So PlayStation Euro Tier 1. Wow, I'm losing my voice already. Another full grid with 6 reserves. Great to see some returning drivers as well. We've got Prime coming back after a season off, and VTOD. I think VTOD's been there since season 1, so that's good to see. PlayStation admin Alex Pato at Ferrari with Anto Vallo, so all Italian team at Scuderia. IFR Milan, I know that boy is rapid, so he is probably the man to beat in this. A couple of guys stepping up to Tier 1 as well. Passion Chester had really good pace in his evaluation, so he's moved up. And our defending champion in PS Euro Series is Armchair Bike at Alpine, so yeah, see if he can defend his title there. Some new drivers as well, so good luck to everyone. We watch, well, I'll be watching that. Hopefully, if we get a streamer, which I think we might. Okay, so moving on to our last few tiers of the Tuesday leagues, which is the PlayStation Pacific. And we start with Tier 3. And of course, this is the Go Workplace Training PlayStation Pacific Series. We thank them for their sponsors, Go Workplace Training. If you're in Australia and you need some training, they've got some good stuff. If you're a tradie, and you get 10% off through Spec. So yeah, check those guys out. So this is PlayStation Pacific Tier 3. Some very familiar names to me, just because I manage this region and series more than most. But yeah, we've got stalwarts like El Tonki, James Cruz, Hold Up Man Dan, Lunacy. Orphan drops come across from Xbox. So yeah, lots of familiar names there. Full grid and 7 reserves. So what you'll find with the Pacific Series on PlayStation, every tier has 7 reserves. And you might think, well, that's 21 drivers, but yeah, we had 11 people sign up as reserve, and yeah, we can't have 4 tiers with 81 drivers. It just won't work. So we've gone with 3. Yeah, and these are going to be full every week with the amount of reserves we got, which is really good. So yeah, good luck to the Tier 3 boys, and we'll go to Tier 2. PlayStation Pacific Tier 2. There it is. Really good grid this year, or this season rather. We've already had a season this year. So yeah, who we got in there? Some familiar names: Roscoe Arm, The Rock, Kickbutt Kiwi, Entei, so LJB, Banana K Pie. There's no more Banana Car, so he's gone with the Williams. Intriguingly, hasn't been loyal to Alpine, but that's okay. Semi-Pro and Breno makes a return, which is good, and Server at Haas. So lots of quick guys there. This one's going to be hotly contested, and really sorry to a few of these reserves too. I know they really wanted a seat, but unfortunately, just we like obviously 70 into 60 doesn't go, so or 80 into 60 doesn't go. So some people have to miss out, and unfortunately. Yeah, but as I said at the top, if you're a reserve and you're persistent and show your commitment and you want to race whenever you can, then you're a good chance for a seat when one opens up. So keep at it. So good luck to the Tier 2 guys. We'll move on to our final Tuesday league, which is PlayStation Pacific Tier 1. There we go. So Pacific Tier 1 got GeForce Crichton going for his 4th Pacific Tier 1 Championship, and it's an all GeForce Zach Mercedes lineup. Actually, he's joined by GeForce Zach JW. So Zach and Zach, and yeah, good to see a couple of new faces as well. So moving up from Tier 2, we have Blocky Rex, Macedonian, Scotty, Bags Liddell, and is that it? Ned hugged my dog. So I think those guys have moved up from Tier 2. We've got a couple of reserves from Tier 2 from last season as well. Nui and Will, with 92 in the middle. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's a very hot lineup. Very quick drivers in that. So yeah, that's going to be very hotly contested. Yeah, so again, sorry to the guys that were reserve, ended up being a reserve for this. I know some of you guys wanted a full-time seat, and yeah, some people had to miss out, unfortunately. So we went with yeah, guys we think are going to be there every week, and yeah, if you show that commitment, then yeah, you'll get chances. So don't be too disheartened. Yeah, so that's our Tuesday leagues. All right, so we're about halfway through this already. We're whizzing through, so we only got the Sunday leagues left, which we'll go across to. Okay, so in the Sunday leagues, there's of course these ones are now regional. So that's the big change for season 5, I guess. And there's 2 types as well. So there's open leagues, which is open assists, kind of like Tuesday, but on Sunday, if I'm honest. But Um, yeah, and then we have the Elite Series, which we're trying to get going a bit more without assists. So we want to yeah, go in the direction of more like sim racing, or at least offer that to our drivers. So see that a bit later, but for now we'll go with the Sunday Open Leagues. And we'll start off again with our American friends. So Xbox American Open. Um, yeah, similar lineup to the Tuesday lineup. Actually, a lot of the same drivers, but some new faces as well, which is good to see. Um, and that's a full grid, I believe. Yeah, full grid plus 2 reserves. So good luck to those guys. Xbox Americas is going really well. I got to give props to our Xbox Americas admins, Insane Sparty, Porsche, and Sharky. They do a fantastic job of running um, all the leagues on Xbox Americas. So well done to them, and yeah, it's a testament that we got 2 full grids this season. All right, so moving on, we'll stick with Xbox and we'll go to Xbox Euro Open. Now this one looks a bit better than Tuesday for our European Xbox drivers. So this one's nearly full. I think I've got a few spots there that are open, but we have 6 reserves, which is really good. So 3 spots for 6 reserves. So hopefully those 6 drivers can fill those other spots between them every week, and we'll of course fill those spots as we go through the season as well. So if you are a reserve and you do want one of those seats, then we can make that happen before round 1 on Sunday. Okay, and we'll have one last Xbox Sunday League, which is our only Xbox Pacific League this season. Unfortunately, couldn't get one going on Tuesdays, which is a bit disappointing. Just didn't have the numbers, but this one had far better numbers, so we decided to make this one the priority. Hopefully, the drivers are committed. We've had some issues, if I'm being open, with Xbox Pacific, and yeah, drivers coming and going, and commitment's been a big problem here. But yeah, hopefully these guys stick it out for the season. Again, like Euro, we have 3 extra spots and 4 reserves there, so those guys have plenty of opportunities and can take full-time seats if they want as well. So good luck to those guys. And we'll move on to our PC Open League. So we have PC Euro Open Tier 2 first. And that's full grid with 6 reserves. So very nice to have that many reserves for a league as well. Yeah, most of our leagues are well stocked with reserves, which is a really good point. So yeah, good luck to those guys as well. And we'll go to Euro Tier 1. This is PC Euro Open Tier 1. Some very fast drivers in here. So we got Racing Sting, and Iber is a reserve, but he's very fast, I think. Makalele, Vlad Red, Rayner is very quick as well. So that's going to be hotly contested for those guys. We do have a bit of a mixed ability in this when we get to the top of the PC Euro though. So yeah, but another full grid and 4 more reserves, so it should be a good series for those guys. And once again, good luck. So we move on to our final PC Sunday League, which is PC Pacific Open, and I'm stoked to have a Pacific PC League. We literally had the same amount of drivers for Tuesday and Sunday. Well, maybe 1 or 2 different, but we went with Sunday. So if you were signed up for Tuesday and you want to race Sunday, then let us know, because there's obviously spots there. Yeah, and we'll fill as we go as well. Where I'm actually in contact with some other leagues, other PC leagues in the Pacific region, to see if any of their drivers wanna join. So I'm pretty confident before even round 1 we'll have some more drivers on this grid. So yeah, good luck to all those guys. Okay, now we only have PlayStation Sunday leagues left. So start off once again with our Americas uh, league. So PS America's Open, quite a different grid to Tuesday. This one actually. So um, yeah, some lot of different drivers. There's a few that are on the Tuesday grid, but this is mostly a different set of drivers and another full grid, which is good to see. So three reserves. And I can't pick that, to be honest. I don't know much about these guys. So there's some familiar names though. So Liquido, Flavius, and Nuru Nix. I think they've been around a while. But yeah, other than that, I'm not too sure. So yeah, that's wide open. Um, so yeah, good luck to those boys. And we have only the one tier for America. So we move on to PS Euro Open Tier 2. So this was a tricky region. So PS Euro Open uh, had enough for two tiers, but only just, and with some gaps as well. So you see there's no Haas drivers. So we have and one Alpine spot as well. So 17 drivers, but we got three reserves. So those guys can definitely get a race when they're available. Um, yeah, and we'll fill those gaps as we go. All right, moving to Tier 1 of the PS Euro Open. So, similar story. Only one spot available at the moment at Haas and two reserves. So, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to fill that relatively quickly. Yeah, again, like America Series, a really different set of drivers to Tuesday leagues for both Tier 1 and Tier 2. So, Um, yeah, we've got Prime Bilzu there again. He's the name that stands out to me. So, he's been racing here for ages. URL Special is a driver that's joined. I think he's pretty quick. Too late, mate. Is quick as well. Yeah, there's some good drivers in there. So that should be hotly contested, I would assume. All right, so moving to our Pacific Open tiers. So we've got two tiers, just like Euro. So PS Pacific Open Tier 2. These ones are full though, so we got full grid plus 5 reserves for Pacific Open Tier 2 on Sunday. Once again, some really familiar names, quite similar to Pacific Tuesday Tier 3. A lot of the same guys with some new guys as well, or guys that only race on Sunday. So yeah, looking forward to seeing how those guys get on. And we'll move to our top open split on PlayStation in the Pacific region. And here it is. So our last Sunday league, very, very good lineup, I believe. Again, quite similar to Tier 2 Pacific on Tuesday. But yeah, with some more drivers thrown in there as well. Should be there's a couple of Tier 1 Pacific drivers in there actually. So yeah, like Ned and Scotty, Bags Liddell, Wee, Banana Cake. This is going to be very, very tasty. So good luck to those guys. All right, and that is going to be it for the Sunday Sunday Leagues Open. We move on to our final two grids of our driver lineups, and this is the Sunday Elite Series. So, as I was saying, we do want to start offering some no assist racing and kind of go down that more of that sim path. Yeah, so this is, I guess, what we're trying to do, and we've got two grids. I'm pleased to report. So our first one is the Elite Series PlayStation Euro, presented by Track Racer. So that is a great looking grid. A bit of variety in terms of ability. So maybe not like super competitive yet, but I think we'll get there in coming season. But yeah, some very quick drivers, just off the top of my head. So ECL Simple Programmer, IFR Jensen, ECL Freaky Fast, Highliner. We've got Rhythms in the Aston Martin, and we've got Alex Pato in the Ferrari. Yeah, some really good drivers there. I just noticed actually we've got one spot available at AlphaTauri, so we do have one open spot there in the Elite Series in Euro. So 5 reserves though, so there should always be a seat to fill for those guys, and we'll try and fill it as soon as possible as well. So moving on to our final grid of the evening, it's PlayStation Pacific Elite. So similar to the Euro Elite, bit of variety in terms of ability, but the main thing is like the Elite Series is no assist, so it's drivers who are either competent in no assist or like giving it a go, um, and aren't too affected by not having the assist. So this looks pretty competitive as well. Must admit. So I'm on there myself, and we've got Is It Kush, Oz Formula, ACW, who won RS2 the last 2 seasons, so he's probably the man to beat in this, I would say. I Contrast and GeForce Zach JW at Aston Martin, Leo at Williams, BP at Haas, and with Roscoe as well. So some really quick guys there. Some new guys as well I don't know too much about, that I'm looking forward to racing and learning more about. So, yep, that is it, guys. I am just about out of breath, and we've been going 32 minutes, so that's probably a good place to wrap it up. That was premature. Okay, so yeah, one last thank you. Thank you for signing up for season 5, and like I said, more details about your leagues. So I guess the main couple of things are start time. So obviously you know the day, either Tuesday or Sunday. The start time is still TBC for some of these, so we left them off for now, and we'll confirm before race day. So we'll probably do Tuesday ones before Tuesday, and then Sunday ones later in the week. And also um, the league coordinator, who is your lobby host. So if you're new to race spec or league racing in general, we have a lobby host for or a league coordinator who's the lobby host, who sets up the lobby and invites all the drivers to the grid, and from there we race. So we don't use the in-game league system because it's it's a bit bad. But yeah, that's how we're gonna do it. Yeah, just a quick mention on driving this season as well. So new in the game, I guess we have some new, well, I guess new settings in terms of damage. So in previous years, you could only damage your front wing. Now you can damage like your side pods, your rear wing, and all that kind of thing. So we're gonna start the season, or we intend to have the season, the damage model on standard and standard. So you can damage other people's cars, um, the side pods and rear wings and stuff like that. But as far as I know, that stuff isn't fixable in the pits, unlike the front wing. So I guess it brings an extra element of realism to the game and to league racing. Yeah, and I guess what I'm trying to say is I think you should kind of race accordingly now. So yeah, you have to be even more calculated and careful with your maneuvers and when you're racing side by side, especially at the start early in the race. So off the grid, turn one and the first lap. So yeah, you just really don't want to get bumped by someone or bump someone, give yourself damage and give them damage, because this season, if you do give someone damage, like a rear wing damage, for example, that they can't repair, you will be penalised accordingly by the stewards. So yeah, that's definitely a thing now. So, and look, at the end of the day, it is racing fake cars on the internet with other people. So don't take it too seriously, and treat each other well. Like it's we're going through a pretty rough patch in terms of how the world's looking at the moment with COVID and everything else going on. Especially here in Australia, we're in lockdown at the moment. Well, most of the country's in lockdown. So yeah, just treat each other well, and yeah, if someone hits you or gives you damage, then obviously they don't mean to. Okay, so yeah, that's the main thing. As long as you're clean driver, good bloke, then we want you here, and we thank you for signing up. And once again, if you didn't get the seat you wanted or ended up being a reserve driver, then I apologise that some people had to miss out. Unfortunately, it's not possible to please everyone and fit everyone into the seats we had. But yeah, that's going to conclude this um, driver placement stream, guys. So thanks very much for joining us, and I wish you all the best for all your leagues this season. So on Tuesday and Sunday, round one for both those, all the leagues I presented tonight is Britain, Silverstone. So they follow the same calendar. So yeah, all the best, and see you out on track. Good night.